Hey everyone, your friendly fast-talking Shadow is here with another video, and today's topic we will discuss the infamous Dauntless trials, which not all of us wanted, none of us expected to be what they are, and a tiny bit of us actually find them entertaining and fun in their current state. Way to go, Phoenix Labs! For everyone new to the channel, welcome to my epic world of music and gaming. Be sure to check me on Twitch, where I will be streaming Monday, Wednesday and Friday evenings, either a variety of games or composing video game soundtracks and epic traveler music live. If interested, check the link and follow me for more awesome content. Also, if you wish, you can support me on the Epic Store and the Dauntless in-game store by using my creator code currently displayed on the screen. So trials, let's talk about the trials. The 5th week of having Dauntless trials started, and they are as useful and as fun as they were on the week 1. For those of you who have not tried trials or have not gotten to the stage of the game yet, then by all means stick till the end of this video. You will not bother with them at all after you watch this, I can guarantee that. Or maybe partially guarantee it. Trials were supposed to be an endgame feature of Dauntless that offers a high skill fight against behemoths with different modifiers each week. If I knew they meant that literally, I would have objected to it long ago the moment they announced it. Instead, I was like all the others paid to win guys and just supported it. You all know me, I have an accent and I like to share what is on my mind, honestly and directly, which makes me very unlikable to some people and especially to developers. But if life was all pink and full of chocolate, the trials would have been patched, fixed, or better yet, released in a better state to begin with. Maybe some of you think I sound pessimistic, and as a hater, well, you can all just
fuck off out of here.
Let's talk seriously about the trials. Firstly, we're talking about the Dauntless version of the trials, not the normal one. Normal one is between a small challenge and a walk in the park for people who play the game, so no point in discussing it. My first problem with the trials in Dauntless difficulty is the fact that they're an artificial difficulty. This means that for the main part, they just increase the damage everything does, and instead of making it properly difficult with new mechanics or combinations, they make it artificially by forcing you to make a perfect run or making everything that hits you kill you. When doing the trial solo, which is not something recommended, but there is still a leaderboard for solo kills, strange isn't it? Anyways, the trials are meant to be completed as a team, not as a solo players. Yes, you can do that, and for the most part, it is considerably easier to do it as a team and close to impossible for most players to complete it solo. Why? Well, artificial difficulty. If an attack does not kill you, you can be sure it will leave you at half or less than half HP and ready to be killed again by the next attack. I have nothing against there being high damage attacks, the problem is that the majority of them are like that, and they are not properly balanced, neither are they fixed and tuned to the extra modifiers. Here's where the problem number 2 comes in. You cannot just slap 6 different modifiers on a behemoth and call it difficult and ready for the trials. It's completely stupid. When Shock Joe and Shroud had the Rage Tail modifier, they could send Shockwave in any direction from their attacks. The problem here is that it's not realistic and it's not tuned properly. You see Shroud slamming towards one player, but the Shockwave goes towards a different player from his back, which is in the opposite direction of the slam direction. When Rage Tail slams, with his foot for example, he cannot send the Shockwave in a full 360 degrees like Shroud did. At most, he can do it in around 200 degrees. When he slams his tail, it's around 180 degrees. This shows that the trials do not get any modifier and ability fine-tuning, so that they're working at least a bit realistically. They just get those modifiers slapped to them and the abilities go mental whenever and wherever they want. This week Winterhorn just spawns the Shadow Orbs randomly without any meaning. If they put the modifier on him, they could have at least made an animation or some sort of connection to what he does and where he summons the Umbra Orbs, the same as Shroud. It's not normal for you to be at one end of the arena with Winterhorn and suddenly the orb just appears from nothingness in the other end. When Shroud does it, he shows an animation, and he also sends the orb traveling, so you have time to start moving. I know trials are supposed to be harder, but this ain't harder, this is just plain lack of work and an even basic adjustment. There's barely any adjustment done to the behemoth picked for the trials, and no one is thinking about how they can actually combine specific modifiers in a way to make them harder and require skill rather than luck. I have a feeling that the trials were just made for showcasing the best players rather than giving proper content for the whole player base. At least I'm glad that the Dauntless version of the trials can only reward you with cosmetics, because if they made it reward sales, that would have been the bottom line of stupid or bad developer decisions. The trials are a joke compared to the dual behemoths we used to have. In early alpha and the beta stages of the game, while it was still in a closed one, we had dual behemoth fights. Now those were proper awesome, hard and fun, and above all else enjoyable for all of the player base, not just the hardcore players. Whenever you went into a dual behemoth fight, you knew that you're gonna spend at least 10 minutes on those, but you knew they're worth it. Shroud and Helion. Complete Onich, Rezakar and Karabak. Total badasses, Gnasher and Shrek. Well, not the best combo, but still could wipe the floor with you. And of course Pangar and Helion, which was the most amazing from all of them for me. The Blaze and the Frost Behemoth all together. Those are proper difficult endgame stuff. They did not have extra modifiers, they did not have increased damage, but they were hard and they were fun to fight. You knew that you will not die from a single hit, but if you do not watch out, you can get hit twice and die. I keep wondering why didn't they just bring back the dual behemoth fights? Balance them better, maybe add new mechanics when they're fighting with one another. Now I would specify that dual behemoths don't fight against each other, they fight against the slayers. Not like in Monster Hunter World where there can be turf wars, dual behemoths were basically 2 versus 4. That was the proper way to go for endgame and they kind of screw it up. It was different, it was something you had to give a lot more concentration on and work your ass to kill them. Yes, it was 2 versus 4, the odds were against the Slayers, but they still had those odds. And it was based on skill, not on luck. Well, a little bit of luck, but more on skill. And the best of players saw those dual behemoths. That was the real test of who is best and who can do it. There were no leaderboards and no speed kill timings. It was about killing them. It was not about getting the fastest kill time on the leaderboard, it was about killing them in the first place. I think that making the game more competitive and creating competition between the players when you have a PvE game is wrong and is not the right way to go. Yeah, it's fun for 1% of the player base, but rather than on competition, focus on fixing the issues, making the content better, and at least when releasing it to have some sort of balance. It's very easy to just slam steroids on those behemoths and let them loose and say we give you a new challenge, go forth and have fun. It's a lot harder yet more rewarding for players to slowly give those behemoths a few proper power-ups and properly send them to kick our asses. But I may be wrong, maybe I just want to hate on the trials. If you don't like my opinion, the dislike button is down there, but if you do like it and you agree with me, hit the like button. Tell me also your opinion on the matter if you're different from what I've said, by dropping it down below in a comment. As always, thanks for watching and be sure to subscribe and press the bell icon in order to get notifications. This is everything for me for this video, see you on the next one, Shadow Strider out!